You know what really grinds my gears? You, America.
I'll write it and we'll do it live!
You can't handle the truth!
Do it live!
Welcome back to Heated. My name is Meredith, and today we're talking about a very pressing issue, gun control. On February 14th, a mass shooting occurred at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School. 17 people died, most of whom were students. In the weeks after the shooting, many of the students, faculty, and parents of Parkland demanded that the government take action to stop the mass shooting epidemic. Despite the massive protests and rallies, no legislation was passed in order to protect America's students. Since Parkland, many other school shootings have occurred across the country, with the most recent being Santa Fe High School. 8 students and 2 teachers were killed. This is yet another tragedy that government officials refuse to pay attention to. They send their usual thoughts and prayers, then continue to allow this massive problem. Some have even dropped so low as to make fun of the survivors and what they have to say. But let's forget about Congress for a moment, because you've heard all of that before. As a high schooler, I am most appalled by the victim blaming of my peers for what happened to their communities. An example of this is the Walk Up, Not Out campaign. For those who don't know, the Walk Up, Not Out campaign encourages students to walk up to kids who seem lonely or bullied, instead of walking out of school to protest. While this seems like a good idea, it perpetuates the notion that the only reason a person would shoot up a school is because they got called names once. Maybe we should consider that almost all school shooters have a history of domestic violence, emotional issues, and oftentimes racist or misogynistic views. We should not be forcing kids or even telling kids to be friends with someone they feel uncomfortable or unsafe around. Now the question is, how do we prevent our children from becoming unsafe, unstable people? I believe the answer lies in how people, especially boys, are taught to deal with emotion. When boys are brought up, they are told to man up when they experience pain and that men don't cry. And while resilience is an admirable trait in a person, the bottling of feelings like sadness and anger can make a person very stressed. These boys confuse sadness for anger and lash out towards both themselves and others. They internalize every negative thing that ever happened to them and refuse to seek help. From that point, there is really only 2 options for them: violence against themselves or others. This kind of behavior was seen in the Parkland shooter, who had a history of domestic violence. Another part of this is an entitlement issue. For instance, the Santa Fe shooter specifically targeted Shauna Fisher, a girl who turned down his advances multiple times. Many are saying that a public confrontation embarrassed the shooter, causing him to become violent. Maybe we should have taught him that no does not mean I need more convincing. Maybe we should have told him that when he was young that women have a right to date, or not date, whomever they want, without judgment. But no, someone decided that it was best to show him that women are objects who don't have a right to their own body. Obviously, the gun violence epidemic needs many different solutions, both big and small. But there is only one fix we can make that doesn't require bills or laws or funding or any of that. All it needs is a little effort. With a little bit of work from everyone, we can make the world a less toxic place for both boys and girls. We can change how our children view themselves and their emotions. All you need to do is teach our children that having emotions is good and healthy, and that they have bodily autonomy no matter what. The teaching of tolerance begins and ends with us. We will change our culture, and the world will follow.